Hello everyone. So this is a video kind of just about the generator in its entirety. So I'm just going to do like a walk around and kind of show off every kind of corner and angle that you can see of this genset so everyone can kind of get an idea of what I'm working with. Starting from this side. So the exhaust is the original one that came with it. Of course I don't plan on using it. I want to get an exhaust that fits my RV because I can't have one on the side. Mine was originally designed to have the exhaust come out the bottom and then shoot off to the right. But in my coach here, this is the compartment that it's supposed to go in. So if I open this up, you can see that it has the original mounting holes behind the garbage and the big old slot for the air duct. Now of course I need to fix this door and put a thing in so that cold air can reach the generator and cool it properly, but all the wiring is still here. There are the 4 remote wires and then the main hookups for the coach. And I do want to replace this insulation, which is very ratty and disgusting. So there's no sign of an old fuel line or even the battery hookups from the original generators that are still in this area. So I'm probably going to have to run new battery hookups to the house battery for it to start, and probably going to have to run a new fuel line from my existing fuel tank on this RV to the generator so it has some fuel to run off of. So that's that for the RV portion of this. This here is the genset. Currently the carburetor is not on it because it is in cleaning right now. And if you're watching this on Smokestack, then you'll already know the story. But I am currently cleaning my original carburetor so that I can essentially stop it from hesitating or hunting or surging, however you want to call it. Now, I also have my line here going to the governor, which has a spring on it that does need to be replaced, which I'm assuming that this black cover comes off with some moderate to severe amounts of work. Who knows, it seems to be shoved in under and around certain places that I'll have to probably cram it out of. And another user that I have not responded to yet, but I am going to get around to it on Smokestack, mentioned that they're about vacuum leaks, and I noticed there's this line here and it feels kind of old and loose, and maybe there's a vacuum leak along this way here. I don't know where this goes, but it connects to the air filter housing on the front of the carburetor, and there's also this little vacuum line here that controls the choke so that, you know, the choke opens when the throttle is closed. So there's all that, and then there, of course there is the electric choke, which I don't understand completely yet why there are 2 chokes, but there are, and some people have said this is adjustable. Don't know how to yet, but I'll get to it. And then it's in there. And then the other big deal that I'm currently having deals with, and also you can see that I do need a new, whatever you call these guys, capacitors, condensers. I have one coming, just not here yet. The bearing, I sent a picture in, and a lot of people noticed that this bearing is no good. And I've also noticed when I've been using it, I didn't even realize it was a bearing because it doesn't even move, because the shaft, if you can see, has a huge gap around it where it's not completely centered even in that bearing, and I don't even know if that's the right size bearing, either that or if that shaft has welded its way kind of obtuse and is now kind of grinded a little bit into the bearing. I'm not sure. But if I turn the engine here, which, let me pull out my little rag because I'm scared that this would just get sucked in and I'll be in another conundrum on top of all the other conundrums I've been dealing with. This was just to keep dirt and crud from getting inside of the engine while it's closed or while the carb's not on there. So I'm going to hit the starter here and show you all how this behaves when it turns over. So yeah, make your opinions now, because that is how it's working. I'm going to cram this little guy here back into there. It's probably not going to want to go. I've got to use 2 hands here, so bad camera angle for a little bit. Just stay here with me. Okay, that's jammed together. So yeah, and the fuel pump. A lot of you guys have mentioned that this rubber hose line, which goes onto a hose barb down there, it's very hard to see. There it is on the back of the fuel pump. And another hose barb that's on the carburetor, but that's not a good idea. So I need to figure out if I can get my hands on a steel line. I might be able to take the original one and bend it to where I might be able to fit it on the back of this fuel pump here, but that fitting is kind of funky looking. If you can see it, it's a 90-degree angle and it goes straight down, which I think is an inconvenience. I honestly have a theory, maybe bear with me on this one, that I could flip the fuel pump over 90 degrees, or 180 actually, and have it so that the inlet is back there and the outlet is right here, so it goes straight up and then right up to the carburetor. That's my theory for now. I mean, let me know what you think. I'm obviously not an expert, and that's why I post things on the internet like this, so that you guys can give me a hand. And I just noticed that it looks like I'm missing a bolt, actually right where where my solenoid is. So that is not good. I can see the threads, but I don't see a bolt. That is something to be definitely noteworthy of for the future. Definitely gonna have to put a bolt there. Go down to Ace Hardware and pick me one up. And then also the grounding cable. Someone else mentioned on the forum that this grounding cable here, not to be attached to the base of the generator. I do not want to put it on the base at the end of the day, but at the end of the day, I don't know where else to put it. I've seen people try to thread these, put it there maybe, but what I was thinking of is kind of just tapping maybe one of these bolts and making it a grounding cable, because they're huge and they're definitely on the metal surface and barely easy to turn into a ground. And then this thing here, I don't know what this is, but maybe you guys will know. Just a fun thing to know, because I kind of want to know what everything is on this generator, so I know what's up when problems occur. But yes, the very big details I'm still working on is the hunting and surging. When that new carburetor comes out and I put the new governor spring on down there, that's definitely going to be another video I'm going to post on how that's doing. And we're going to do a metal fuel line. Let's see if I can't flip that fuel pump around, because it is the OEM fuel pump. Maybe I just put it on backwards because the old one was oriented like that. I don't even have the old one, I don't think, anymore. It's probably in the garbage. And see if I can't get a line to run up to the carburetor from that. That's metal, not rubber, so I don't get a blowout and it hits the exhaust and burns my entire RV to the ground, which at this rate sometimes I feel like doing myself. But it's definitely a ongoing project in there. And the bearing, which I've been told that I gotta take this entire housing off, and that is scary. Especially, I don't even know, there's like 1, 2, maybe, I don't even know how many bolts are on this thing. I think there's some down here somewhere. I am definitely going to look up a manual on that. I'm sure you guys have already linked me a few. I haven't looked through yet, but hopefully there's a step-by-step on taking this thing apart, because I will break it otherwise, I am almost certain. So that's today's video on the generator. I am making progress, just slowly. I am a student, so I'm in finals weeks, and I'm going to be taking a trip to another state next week for about 4 or 5 days. So progress will slow down, but it will continue at a steady rate when I get back. But I am definitely gonna get that carburetor done this week and see how we can make this thing run, so that everyone's not sitting on the edge of their seat waiting for an update from this Genset. All right, well, here's to hoping to getting this thing running good and inside the motorhome, and no longer sitting out here strapped to a strange car thing that I found in my attic. So thank you guys for your continued support. I really appreciate all the helpful tips you guys send me and all the information, because I wouldn't be able to figure this damn thing out without you guys. So thank you, and you all have a great day. Goodbye.